Okay, happy 21st of September 2016. So I am preparing my garden for fall. What I like to do is on Excel, I made a thing of my garden. I've been using the same one for years now, and I just clear them out, and this helps me to rotate my crops. And also, I like to look at companion planting charts. I didn't do it this year because I wanted to test out the theory, and it really does work. So I'm definitely going back to my spreading everything out so there's a little bit of everything mixed together, because I had some pest problems this year. So this is kind of what I do, my tentative planning before I look at my seed stash and think of what I need to purchase. I also like to go over what kind of things do I like to eat a lot, what would save me money on my grocery bill, and I like to do the big hitters. So things like, we do a lot of tomato sauce, and diced tomatoes are things we purchase. Peppers are things we never purchase because they're just too expensive for us. So if I can grow those, it saves us quite a bit of money. Then what I do is I do a write-up of the things that are going to overwinter. I might have a big cabbage or some kale or some thyme, oregano bushes, some flower bulbs, whatever. So this is just the things that I need to keep in mind when I'm writing my plan. So this year, for example, I had all of my tomatoes here, and they did not do so well. This is my first year using wood chips. I also think part of my problem is I overestimated how good the wood chips would hold the water. They really didn't do that good a job compared to what I had expected. I've also noticed that using wood chips have made it exponentially harder for me to start seeds. Because even if I pull the wood chips away, they blow back, or the birds, when they're digging for worms or whatnot, will pull them back. So for me, the wood chips really have not been helpful. Some experiments that I've had this year was doing my peppers in pots. One of my favorite ladies on YouTube to watch is a lady by the name of Donna, and she has a channel, and she doesn't even know I'm recommending her, but she has a channel called Rainbow Gardens, and she has the most beautiful peppers and tons of gardening stuff. I watched her when I was first learning, and she does her peppers now in pots, maybe bigger ones, and she puts them in dollar store little tubbies so she can water them from the bottom, and they don't get too dry, because if you grow in pots, it dries out. And that's one of the things I think why my plants were so stunted, was I just could not keep them watered enough. I've also been experimenting this year with seed saving. I've been trying all summer to save seeds from this romaine. It's actually from last year. It overwintered, and it took forever to bolt, which for me is a great thing. It has fluffier flowers, so the booty that I tried to keep on it to maintain seed purity really hindered propagation of the seed, or the pollination. So and now it's pretty much died. So I don't know if I'm going to get any seeds from this, which makes me pretty sad. There's some radish down there, but I'm going to show you a better one. So I also was saving some seed from some breakfast radish. This thing is monstrous now. And look at all this whole thing is from the radish. I tried to pick the healthiest, the fastest growing radish that I had, and the biggest bulb. And this collard is also from last year. It overwintered, and it took forever to bolt. This is the seeds that I did cover with the booty. I don't know if I should or not, but I've been cutting back all the other flowers for the most part to try and let it focus on these being the healthiest, strongest. It's also got these real shiny leaves, which were really good for keeping the bugs off. A lot of my stuff is kind of ready to come out, like my cucumbers here, so that's part of why I'm trying to plan. It's my first year successfully, at least, growing vines of sweet potatoes. We'll see what we've got underneath. So I have to pull those out at some point. We're still struggling with the mice. I don't know. I think in the winter, when the food's more scarce, we have to bait. We're pretty rural, so they've become a really big problem, even in the house. And we have cats, thank goodness. Growing the zucchini vertically has done really well. I wish I had started earlier. Making sure my daughter's okay. You just remove the very last leaf, and you know, like this one I could remove the leaf as well. You don't have to do every one. And I would like to use a piece of wood and have notches in it so that it doesn't slide down with the weight. I like my zucchinis fairly large, a little larger than this, but way before they start getting hollow in the middle and going to seed, kind of a thing. Let's see, what else were my experiments this year? I finally have successfully done compost, except for it wasn't hot enough to kill the seeds. So in my strawberry bed, I have some pumpkins, which were fine with me, because I like pumpkins and I'll eat them. Shoot, there was something else I wanted to tell you guys about. Going over here to this bed, this little dirt hillock. This really has not been my favorite of the beds. It was free. We just had the soil, so we did an experiment with it, but it's been a lot harder to maintain. So if this is all you can do, it's better than nothing. It's just a lot harder to maintain. I think I'm also going to redo how I do the different flowers. This is also a first year we didn't do marigolds. I really missed them. They do work. They're not my favorite looking flower, but they really do help. Okay, the other two things I wanted to say really quickly. I love our new vertical growing. We were using PVC. We got the idea how to do this from the only other guy that I really love to watch on YouTube. It's called OneYardRevolution. His name's Patrick, and he's really fantastic videos and to the point. Anyway, not like me. He's got these instructions on how to build these really sturdy trellises, and I like the cloth ones that I used to have. You couldn't really reuse it. These are reusable, they're strong, they're easy to reach through and see through. So I want to build a couple more because we've only got 2 of those, but that was what we could afford at the time, and they're not expensive. We just are pretty tight. So and the apple bagging. So, all the apples are done off of this tree, my Honeycrisp. This one is the Rubinette. Now, I left way too many fruits on here. They suggest when you're cutting it that you cut the opening larger so the water can drip out better. I've only lost 1 to rot. I haven't had a whole lot of pests, but I will say the bagging did seem to work. It's quite a bit of work to bag them. And at this point, I think I'm going to try it another year before I really endorse it or not. I can say I need to reduce the number of fruits that I have on here. I need to replace this, but the sticky sheets have been fantastic. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful time preparing for fall, dreaming about next year's garden, and if you're able, enjoying yours way into the fall and winter. Thanks for watching. Happy gardening.